Back to the channel, guys. It is Wednesday, June the 1st, and my name is Daniel, and you're watching Triple R Farms. And day one of wheat harvest is in the books. It was a rough one. Even after I ended the video, we still had problems. Mark's grain cart, which I'll explain a little bit later. But anyway, he's got a gearbox in the bottom, and it's got a shaft that goes up through the sidewall of the grain cart, hooks to the auger. Anyway, for some reason we're losing some wheat right there. Every time he would turn his auger on, it was spilling wheat all over the ground. So James and Mark this morning, they're gonna swap buggies. They're gonna go get the red grain cart, hook up to it, and we're just gonna park the green one for now till we have time to investigate on it a little bit more and see what went wrong with it. And another thing on the grain cart, the scale guy, he didn't have any luck with the scales. He ended up having to take the box home, the little control box. He's gonna take that back to his shop, and he's gonna work on that at his shop and try to get it fixed, and then bring it back. And then when he gets that working, then he's still got to figure out why one of those load cells, something's wrong with one of them. So he couldn't even get the display to work yesterday. So anyway, that's a whole nother story. Okay, Dad, he's over there in the valley. He's planting beans. He planted beans all yesterday. Wayne's over there helping him, keeping him filled up with soybeans. First thing on my list today is I'm gonna be spraying some Penergetic. Got some deer tearing up some fields on some soybeans. So while the dew is on the wheat, kind of letting that dry, probably about 11 o'clock before I get started. But I'm gonna run around with my rogator, touch up some of these fields where we got some deer problems, and they're hammering the beans pretty good. So that's what we got on the tap for today. So it'll be another busy video. So y'all sit back, come on, let's go get it started right now. I'm gonna have to do the 16-ounce rate. Well, I'll tell you all about it in a second. So this is the Penergetic. This is the stuff that we've been using for deer and hogs. So it comes in these buckets, and it's in a powder type form. You just mix it with water. You need 15 to 20 gallons per acre of water. So I got enough to do. Since I've already got deer already out in the field eating the plants, they want you to double up the rate for deer. So I'm gonna be putting out a 16-ounce rate of this. So these 5 buckets right here ought to do 88 acres. I got a couple of fields. It's not all gonna be in one field. I got one field at the smoke place, and then we'll be heading over there in the valley and touching up some fields over there with this stuff. But anyway, had good luck with it so far. So it's going to be really put to the test this time, because they are actively out there wearing the beans out. So got to move this 18-wheeler out of the way so I can get my rogator up here. There's not enough room, so let's move it out of the way, and let's fill up some Penergetic. Come on. Yes, sir. Nope, not yet. Somebody didn't have their brakes released. Oh my gosh, you're kidding me. Last time I used this rogator, I don't know why, but this is not communicating with that screen right there. It's some kind of electrical issue where it's not getting a good signal whenever I crank it up. And I think we may be good now. Whew, we got lucky. Something going on. There's like a little glitch. And anyway, the last time I used this, it literally, I cranked it up and cranked it off and messed with it for about 3 hours. Finally gave up, was driving it to the shop just to anyway, wash my machine off, and the daggum thing connected. So I got lucky. So something's going on, but it is connected now because they're both pulled up So, whew, we're good to go. I was about to get real mad. All right, back to filling up. There's one other thing they recommend is 30 mesh strainers in these. So I gotta take these out. I've got 2 30 mesh strainers that I bought, so we'll be putting those babies in. Alright, we're out here at the smoke place, and let me show you what the deer have done. It's not good. And don't worry about the weeds. We can take care of the weeds. I'll probably spray them next week, but this is what I wanted to show you. This is what the deer have done. They have completely ate that row. They just come right along in here and bite off the tops. They're going for those tender leaves right there. They just walk and eat. And it goes all the way down. And then they'll jump on in the row beside it. And they'll walk down and eat that row. I mean, ridiculous. Look at this. This is the worst part of the field. I pretty much lapped the field, and this is usually where we have the worst damage. Thought I could get in here a little quicker with the Penergetic, but man, they have already done so much damage. It's unbelievable. And there's the culprit right there. Deer track. Now, if the deer would leave it alone, you'd have a row just like this. That's what it's supposed to look like. Not like that. We'll see what happens, but Penergetic has worked in the past, but it's gonna be a tough time keeping these deer out of here, because I mean, they're coming in here all day long during the night, and they know this food source is out here, and that's what they're eating on. We'll see if it works. Alright guys, got through spraying at the smoke place, and Dad called me. He wants me to go up there and try the wheat. He thinks it's ready, because we've had full sunshine this morning. There is no clouds. So I'm gonna rinse out the rogator. After I use that Penergetic, I always like to put some water in it, flush my booms out, and then we'll go up there and check the combine out, and hopefully get the combine and some wheat. Let's go. Okay guys, I got the combine ready, did a walk around, made sure everything looked okay, greased a couple of things. Now we're ready to go out here and test it. I went out there and felt the wheat. I think the wheat's dry, so we're gonna go ahead and try to calibrate the yield. It's a lot harder doing it this way when you don't have a grain cart out in the field with the scales. I guess I've gotten spoiled having that grain cart with the scales, because it's just so easy to do it out here in the field. So we're gonna do it the old way. So basically, I'm gonna go in here and do a yield calibration, and it's gonna tell me to combine between, I think it's like 3,000 to 10,000 pounds of wheat. So while I do that, it's gonna be calculating what it thinks the yield is, and then we're gonna dump it on James on the 18-wheeler. He's gonna go all the way back to Benton. It's like a 5-mile run, and he'll get that weight, radio it back to me, and then I can plug in the actual amount. And if we're pretty close, we may only have to do it one time, but usually I have to do it 2, sometimes 3 to get it really dialed in. So I really want to get this calibrated because I really want to know what the actual yield is, because this is where we did the grain drilled, and it's a different variety. So anyway, I'm gonna take the time to do it, and we'll see what it really is. We'll go to yield. They want you to do your moisture first before you do the yield. We did that yesterday, so we're dialed in on the moisture. We'll do wizard, run wizard. I'll tell you a bunch of warnings. We're at Triple R Farms, Tyler, field 1, wheat, got it. Proceed. We want to do medium flow. Now let's do low, because it's probably going to be going slow at the beginning. Proceed. Tells you between harvest at least 3,000 and 10,000 pounds. Got it. We're ready to start. And here's where it's going to tell me to combine. It's going to give me a speed. I need to stay in between right here, these 2 white lines. And this is where it's going to be calculating everything on the go. Let's do it. And I always want to make sure I got a good clean run, where it's not, you know, taking half of a header width or whatever. You want to make a good straight run where you got a full header width the whole way, and then you can turn around and come back. Alright, just got James loaded up. He's going to get weighed at my header got choked up with a bunch of wheat straw. This belt right here quit turning, and we got to pull all this straw out. I don't know why I got choked up. Hopefully it's nothing major. Always got to do this first.
All over.
Just grab anything you can grab under there.
All right.
I'm gonna pull this way. I don't know why. Got stuck right here. Gotta be real careful when stuff like this happens. That's how a fire gets started. I think we're good. Alright, let's see what happens. Man, I get so nervous combining wheat. I'm so afraid of fire. Anything goes wrong, I'm on high alert. There she goes. Alright, Wayne just called me. He just weighed in James, so I'm ready to enter in the actual weight of our yield calibration. I've never done it this way. I've always done it right there on the spot. But it, I hope it saved all this. Holy cow. 6/1/11/02. Okay, here it is. Alright, it goes by the date. I just saw all this. I didn't know what was going on. Alright, yeah, June the 1st, 11/02. It actually was a lot more weight. So that ought to increase the yield. It thought it was 10,115, and we are 11,140. Since it was 9.2% off error, that's pretty big error. We got to do it again. Moving along. Man, that's a tight fit right there. Mark's got to really know how to drive. You got about a foot and a half between the end of my header and those tires right there on the tractor and the buggy. He does an excellent job. I really need to get an extension on my auger. You got these 45-foot Draper heads now. They really get you real tight up against the grain carts. But we manage. Looks like good wheat. I think the test weight is going to be good. See, Lord, I can't talk. Thirsty. Now I can talk. What I was trying to say is the seed quality on the wheat looks good. I mean, they look beautiful looking seed. They're big. Hopefully the test weight on them are good. Nothing wrong there on the quality. And this is USG 3640. We had to get this variety. I've never planted it before, but they just couldn't get their hands on any more plantation, Dynagrow plantation toward the end of the planting season. So I had to get something, and this is what we went with. So, well, basically this is the only thing we could get our hands on. So once we get back out in the field combining, I'll kind of show you what it's yielding. I still don't think my yield monitor is quite right. I think it's reading a little low, because it sure looks a lot better than what it's reading across the monitor. But let me dump on Mark, and anyway, we'll get back out there and we'll show you what the USG 3640 is yielding. So this is pretty much all I got left at Tyler Graveyard, to those woods right here. This is some really good wheat. It's kind of got a little hill to it, so it stayed, basically the land stayed drier right here, and it's man, it's pretty good, and it looks pretty too. Got a little bit over there to finish, and then Tyler Graveyard is done. Then we got 2 fields up the road we're gonna have to go do, and then we'll be moving to the valley and get the hay barn field that y'all looked at 100 times, and then we'll be convoying to Blackwell's Bend. But here's kind of what it's yielding. But all in all, the USG 3640, first year planting it, I'd have to say it did pretty good. This land is not our best land, and it has not looked good all year, and it's not the variety's fault. Just stayed too wet, and you could tell this ground, if you have a wet winter, this ground stays wet. And I think the roots on the wheat were sitting in water a lot underground. I mean, there wasn't water sitting on top of the ground, but I think the soil was just really saturated all winter. And when you get on these dry hills, you can see what the potential of this variety can do, and pretty good. Not all the field is you know, in the 80s and 70s. I've hit some 40s, 40 bushel wheat. I've combined some 50 bushel wheat, and everything in between 80 and 40. Just kind of all across here. Just depends on where you are. Choked up again. Same spot where I did this morning. Right there on this side belt right here. Trying to grab it and take it up under. I don't know why it's doing that. Doing this.
Hold it,
That's it. guys, that's gonna be it for the video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Day 2 of wheat harvest is almost in the books. I got one more little corner to do. It's on the other side of those woods, and then the graveyard is done. But got a lot of low power lines and stuff, and this tank on this combine sits up real tall, so probably don't want to be doing any filming and stuff. I need to be concentrating on not hitting the power line. So we're gonna go ahead and end the video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. If you don't mind, give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Click the triple R if you haven't subscribed, and wheat harvest continued, guys. See you on the next one.